Hey girl, hey, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Misha. Thank you guys for joining me yet again for another Throwback Thursday review. We are still on the Real Housewives of Atlanta train, but child, we had to check in with Phaedra Parks season 3 episode 5, Hot Mama's Day, when Phaedra had no idea when her baby was to be born. Child, let's get into it if we gonna get into it. When the episode first opens up, Kim and Sweetie go to Kandi's house. Sweetie! Child, they go to Kandi's house for a Kandi Koated Nights episode. So, of course, they complaining about how far it is. And every time they go to Kandi's house, they hating. Have y'all noticed that? Because remember when Kandi first got that house, because she got it under foreclosure, child, and revamped it and made it, give it the zhuzh that it should have been given. And I understand her for that, child, because these houses be high. So I am with Kandi on that. And mind you, the mayor and everybody else live around the corner from Kandi. Here come Kim and Sweetie. Ooh, what area are we in? Ooh, lock the doors. Ooh, child. Sweetie over there acting like the help, but steady clowning. Sweetie, you is kind, you is smart, you is important, and you is the help. Kim used Kandi for that song. She did. She used Kandi for that song, and she always clowning behind Kandi's back. Kandi and that good heart of hers get taken advantage of. So she was like, for some reason, this is Kandi talking, people just want to talk to me about sex. So I started Kandi Koated Nights. Kandi, it's because you always talking about something nasty. So Kim is tonight's special guest. So they're talking about beef curtains. So Kandi said, Kim, do you have beef curtains? Here go Kim. Here go Kim looking all crazy. Now, why is Kim in this synthetic wig always looking shocked? She was giving that same look that she gave Nene when Nene was about to get on her when they was on that trip to Miami on that tour bus. So she's like, what is that? They're like, it's a little extra meat. She said, no, my vajayjay is beautiful. There are no beef curtains, bitch. Okay? Ain't no beef curtains. So then they started talking about Kandi being celibate, and she said that she had a bet going with one of her friends to see who can make it till December 31st. Kandi was like, well, if I'm not going to be having sex, at least I can talk about it. So then she tells us that tonight's topic is about cheating. Baby, Kandi shady as hell. Not Kim as the guest and she a whole mistress. Kandi! One of the co-hosts go ask Kim. She said, have you ever cheated? Kandi gonna say, now you know she cheated, honey. She sure have. So Kim said, how? I guess it just depends on how you look at it. On paper, yes, he's cheated. Girl, goodbye. Kim is like, all I know is he meets my needs and I just know what he tells me. Basically, as long as the money was shmoneying and it was rolling in, she wasn't asking no questions. In the next scene, Nene is at the doctor and she's waiting on Cynthia because y'all know that's when her and Cynthia were attached at the hip. And the plastic surgeon comes in, is taking the tape off of Nene's first nose. And he's taking a look at her tummy tuck as well. She got them boobs lifted. So Cynthia shows up, child, to get Nene. And she has her an edible arrangement. And when I tell y'all, this hair on Cynthia's head is gelled down. Baby, she has that gel and that hair so slicked it looked like it's glued to her head. Lord have mercy. The hair we used to wear. Cynthia really did care about Nene. When I watched the throwback episodes, she was almost like low-key obsessed with Nene. Like she was so much her friend that she wanted to emulate her. Everything Nene did, she was in such awe. And I can kind of see why now it kind of pissed Peter off because Cynthia was all in, child, friend contract and all. It was really sad to see their friendship dissolve, and it never quite got back on track. Like they tried, but it just never got back on track. So they get in the car. Nene don't want to go home because her and Greg are having problems. Greg done borrowed $10,000. She done had to cuss out Dwight. Greg is doing the cheatation, so they going back to Cynthia's house. So they get to Cynthia's house to have some champagne and gossip, and they start talking about Nene and Greg's relationship and how he crossed the line. And this was before Cynthia was wearing wigs and whatnot. And so then Nene was talking about how she was at her breaking point and how she was considering getting a divorce. Y'all know what I noticed? Nene been at her breaking point, was at her breaking point with Greg for a lot of years. A lot. In the next scene, Sheree is at home and Dr. Taid invited her to his friend's house to cook dinner. So her oldest daughter is coming over to sit with Cairo. Sheree a better mom than mine, honey, because at 13, my mama let me stay home by myself. She was like, y'all old enough, child. Don't let nobody in and don't go out. Sheree knows she can pick them, child. On her way to this date at somebody else's house with this fake doctor. First Bob and now Dr. Such and Such. In the next scene, Phaedra is getting all dolled up for her pregnancy photo shoot. And y'all know what I noticed also? Because, we're just going back down memory lane. I noticed how short the scenes were. They didn't drag out one person's scene for 45 minutes. I am literally flying through this review because the scenes are just that short. So anywho, Phaedra getting all ready to get Bougetto for the photo shoot. Child, her and Apollo go out to these steps and they're taking pictures with these pickles. Baby, when she stuck that pickle in Apollo's mouth, I hollered. Not Apollo got this pickle in his mouth, child. Oh, child, it's a whole fool. In the next scene, Sheree shows up for the date, okay, at this apartment, a whole apartment. And he wants her to be his sous chef. Sir, please don't invite me to an apartment to help you cook when you said you were cooking for me. I do not want to be participating. Honey, this is not a cooking class. This is me coming over for a date and you cooking for me. And the food looked disgusting because I eat with my eyes. And honey, that didn't look good to me. So then they make these cookies and he wants her to eat this cookie dough off his nasty finger. Oh my God. I would have thrown up. I would have thrown up. She tried her best not to eat that cookie dough off that thumb. Oh, she tried. But she actually did it. That was so gross. So they sit down to eat. And he taking off his shirt and whatnot. Here goes Sheree. Okay, his body not bad. He doesn't have a belly, which is good because I'm not doing bellies anymore. Sheree. Oh, child. So then they start talking about money and love. And he's like, well, I don't really care about money. It's giving broke. Okay. And Dr. Tauheed had that landing strip in the middle of his head. So it was looking like no haircut, no house, no particular place to stay. And now you talking about you don't care about money. You wasn't a real doctor. Ooh, child. This date is awful. Sheree just heard doctor and went for it. Moving forward. In the next scene, Kandi is at home with Riley. Riley was so cute then. Hey, Riles. And she's talking about her dad. And Riley was like, I don't really care if I have a dad or not. That was so sad. So Kandi is trying to convince Riley to give her dad a chance. Honey, Riley was right about block all along, okay? Kids know when they want to be around somebody. They know when they want to be around the other parent. Granted, we need to try to promote and cultivate relationships with both parents. That is true. But if my child tells me he feels some certain type of way, I'm going to take heed to that. But I feel Riley is so used to the disappointment that her dad brings that she just built up a wall. She built up a shell and it's hard, but shout out to Kandi. In the next scene, Cynthia and Nene go to the mall to go bra shopping. Baby, you can tell this the early years. They wouldn't be caught dead in a mall in the later seasons. This is when times were so simple. They would go to the mall. They would drive their regular cars. They would wear their regular hair. Cynthia would have raccoon eyes. Nene wore a 27-piece. Her eyelashes used to be bald by the eyes. It's giving organic. Oh, it's giving organic, honey. Oh, I love it. When I tell y'all, it is something about me having a hard time in the real world, and I will put on an episode of The Real Housewives of Atlanta seasons 1 through 5, and they give me all the feels. I could literally watch those seasons back to back to back without fail, repeating every single thing. I loved it, child. So as they're getting fitted for the bras and whatnot, Cynthia's telling her about this Mother's Day brunch that she wants to host, and all of the kids can come and they're trying on bras, playing in them and whatnot. Honey, I hope y'all buy them. Over on the other side, Kandi goes to visit Mama Joyce. This was before that tired Mama Joyce wig showed up. This is when Mama Joyce used to wear those thin crochet braids, honey, and she used to show that forehead, and she ain't fooling me. So she's coming over to talk to her and ask her some advice about Riley and Block. And Kandi is upset that Riley doesn't want to have anything to do with him. But Mama Joyce said, listen, if you have a child, you should take care of a child. Take care of your children. I know that's right, Mama Joyce. Kandi just wants him to do anything with Riley. Pick her up, take her to the park, take her to the zoo. Just do stuff with her, make her feel like she's important. So then she tells us that Riley doesn't have a relationship with her dad, and that he also has 4 other children. So Mama Joyce just encourages Kandi to continue to be strong for Riley. That's all she can really do. And Kandi was saying she just feels like she overcompensates because her dad isn't in her life. And when I tell y'all I have never related to something more in my life, I have never related to a statement more in my life. I feel like I overcompensate when it comes to my son because his dad is not there. In the next scene, it's the day of Cynthia's brunch. Of course, Kim calls to cancel, honey, because she cannot be bothered. Talking about, hey, sweetie, I'm not going to be able to come. Brielle has a fever. Sure she does. You know what? I honestly think Kim wanted the fame attached to the show, but not be involved or around any of the women. Because I ain't going to never forget season 1 when she going to say, I don't want to sit around with Nene and eat fried chicken. It's giving racist. Okay, that's what it's giving me. It's giving, I don't really like black people when I get to the kitchen table, Kim. That's what it was giving me. She ain't sat right with me since. She really has not. She will say anything to get out of being around all of them at the same time. Every single time. Child, Kim knows she lying. So anyway, now that Kim is not coming, the ladies start to arrive. Phaedra gets there and she's like, Cynthia lives in a regentrification area. It's where they make the hood into the suburbs. I mean, it's not for me personally. That's because you and Apollo putting on airs buying cars and houses with illegal money, child. Allegedly. Child, please. I read that book. So Cynthia is like, well, where's Apollo? She's like, well, his brother dropped me off and he'll be on his way. Not y'all high class with one car. Okay. Phaedra is being introduced to Noel and Peter, and they're all talking. And Peter was like, I can't wait to meet Apollo after phony Feifei called him unclean. So then they show a flashback of Phaedra saying she does not want a man with 50 different baby mamas. She wants a clean man. Phaedra stayed judging, and her whole situation was a mess. I agree with not dating men with a whole bunch of children's mothers, because, honey, I used to not date men with kids, period. I bent my rule when I turned 30 because I didn't listen to God, and I was trying to rush his time and feeling like, ooh, gotta get a man, gotta get a baby, gotta get a husband. I should not have done that. I wish that I had not broken my rule, but, you know, you live and you learn, honey. So, anywho, I agree with not dating a man with a whole bunch of children's mothers, but at the same time, Phaedra used to come off so judgy. So then the rest of the ladies arrive, and they go out to the patio area to eat, child. This is when it gets good. So Kandi said, when I saw Nene, this is what she said in her confessional, it threw me off because I didn't know she had her nose done. And I was thinking, is anybody else going to notice? So here goes Sheree. Girl, I ain't seen you since surgery. So what all did you get done? Now you know dang old well what was done, Sheree. She said, I got my boobs and some lipo. She said, and? Nene said, and I ain't going to tell you. So everybody was kind of laughing at the table, right? She said, and I contoured my nose. She said, are you happy? She said, yes, I am. She said, okay, well, that's all that matters. Baby, Nene took that first check, okay? She took them first few checks and gave herself a little razzle-dazzle. Do you hear me? A little je ne sais quoi. Nene said, I am not going to look broke on this screen. She went through 45 noses till she finally got it right. So Sheree said, Phaedra, so when are you due? She said, child, it was supposed to be July, but this baby getting ready to come up out of here. Now, Phaedra. So, child, they all looking at each other like, what? Girl, I know you fucking lying. So, Sheree gonna say, July? I thought you were 5 months pregnant. Phaedra said, yeah, I mean, it was July 26th or August 1st. Mama Joyce said, well, isn't it dangerous to have a baby at the 6th or the 7th month? Phaedra gonna say, while she eating this salad, chomping down in line, well, not if everything's fully formed, you know, and his lungs are functioning properly. The fact that she is sitting here lying and playing in this 60-year-old woman's face that has had 2 kids like our bodies have changed since she was pregnant is sending me. I hollered so loud as I was watching Phaedra lie that my son was like, you watching the Real Housewives of Atlanta? Because he already know. Oh, child, I was hollering. So Nene gonna say, well, I ain't never heard no doctor that do that. Everybody else is like, me either. Because they don't, honey, because it ain't one. So Sheree gonna say in her confessional, you know, I thought it was weird that she couldn't give me a due date. She said, I was thinking to myself, you don't know when you got knocked out? She knew. She just don't want her mama to know, which is strange to me because, girl, you are an adult. Child. So then here go Phaedra. Yeah, and he's sitting on my bladder and I've had some bleed. Phaedra, that is a part of being pregnant. They always sit on your bladder when it's almost time for them to be born. Please stop. Because it's women that are out there that are really in jeopardy of preterm labor. I remember watching this and I was thinking to myself when I first saw it, so Phaedra just gonna lie like this? And this is at the time where I didn't have any children, honey. A child wasn't even a thought in my mind. But the fact that Phaedra sat up here and concocted a terrible lie, not even a good lie, a terrible one, and thought everybody was believing it. She's like, yeah, child, so he coming up out of here. Phaedra, the math is not mathing at all, child. So Cynthia said, so you're more like 6 months. She said, girl, I don't know what I am. She said, all I know is they gonna do it at 34 weeks. Here go Nene in this confessional. When I tell y'all I hollered. Nene said, shut up. That is so stupid. It's chicks in the hood, honey, that don't even know who they pregnant by. They know how far they are. Either it's not his baby or she got pregnant before they got married. Girl, you're grown. This is when Phaedra was keeping up appearances. I know your mama and everybody wanted to get on there and, you're a pastor's kid and whatnot, so they don't want you to have a baby before wedlock. Phaedra, you lied and the truth ain't in you. So she talking about, y'all gonna have to give me some advice because I don't know nothing about birthing no babies. Here go Nene. Keep him in there until he's ready to come out. I know that's right. Here go Phaedra talking about, I don't know, girl. Girl, hush. So then Sheree was like, Kandi, how's Kandi Koated Nights going? She said, oh, it's going fine. So Nene said, Mama Joyce, have you ever been to one? Have you ever watched that before? And so Kandi said, no, she's actually been in the show. Sheree said, Joyce, you been on the show? Kandi said, yeah, we were talking about dildos. Nene said, ugh, just the thought, the whole vision, the thought of my mom using a dildo. It just child, honey, get me to the psychiatric ward. Child, save me a seat and a straitjacket. I don't ever want to think about my own Mama Joyce, anything with a mama in it. I don't want to hear nothing about that. Child, please. I just think I'm able to do it. That is so gross. So Candy's like, yeah, I told her I'd buy one. When I tell y'all I could scream just thinking about it, the last thing on earth I would ever want to know is Mama Joyce has a dildo. Kandi, this is too much. Child, this is just too much, honey. It's some things you just do not share with your parents, honey. Maybe that's just me. I would not be able to do this. So she starts talking about how she uses Pop Rocks to give oral. She was like, have y'all ever used the Pop Rocks? And then you get your man, and everything's good. Baby Todd ain't going nowhere. And he gonna get in that kitchen over at OLG because Kandi over there using them Pop Rocks. Nene gonna say, ugh. I'm just not, honey, I'm just not into it. Kandi was like, you don't like oral? She said, no, I don't. Like, I have to really like the guy to do that. Like, I like to receive it, but I don't like to give it. Child, I used to be the same way. I'm like, I'm not going to do it, honey. Don't do it, girl. I'm not going to do it. I'm just thinking about it. I'm not going to do it. I did it. Child, shout out to TikTok. Oh, honey, no, thank you. So Phaedra said, well, I feel like to give it well, you have to complete the full act. Now, this is my thing. Phaedra can't tell her mama she got pregnant before marriage, but she can sit in front of Mama Joyce and talk about swallowing. Phaedra, make it make sense, child. So Candy's like, oh, did I tell y'all about the sugar? Okay, because it works. Okay, you take your finger, you dip it in the sugar, and then, you put it in your vajayjay, and it makes it stickier. Child, Kandi getting ready to throw everybody pH off. Do y'all hear me? Kandi. You cannot be putting foreign objects up in your whatnots. Honey, I have everybody with bacterial vaginosis. Ooh, so Phaedra is like, yeah, the powdered sugar really turns into like sweet, syrupy good. Ooh, it's delicious. How would you know it's delicious? Oh, child. No, thank you. No, thanks, honey. I'm no prude, but that does not belong in the vagine, honey. It just does not. So Nene said in her confessional, listen. I'm not sticking no Kool-Aid, no candy yams, no peppermint candy, no pancake syrup, none of those things in my vajayjay. That's crazy. So as we get through talking about the Pop Rocks of it all, Apollo knocks on the door, aka Mr. Clean. He shows up with a gift for Phaedra. Now, dang on well Phaedra put him up to that, because why did you come to this house with this Mother's Day gift like you weren't going to see her back at the house? So he presents her with the Gucci bag. Okay. So Sheree said, I thought it was tacky. I mean, you ain't see her before she left the house? I know that's right. But quit hating Sheree, because, honey, we all know that you were trying to keep up with the Joneses as well. And we all know phony Faye and Apollo wasn't doing nothing but spending that money he was laundering from other people. So Phaedra said, this is just what I wanted. This was she said in her confessional. He must have spoken to my assistant. He's finally getting it. Oh, Lord. So anyways, Nene has a question for the men because Peter and Apollo are around. So she was like, how do y'all feel after cheating? Like, do y'all just come on back to the house like ain't nothing happened? Just as random. I said, Nene, not you telling us. Tell us Greg cheated without telling us Greg cheated. So Peter said, How old are you, dude? And he asked Apollo, and Apollo said, I'm 30. He said, well, I'm 19 years older than he is. So, I've done all those things. I don't need to step out. Sure you don't, Peter. Didn't look like that season 8 when you were grabbing that girl's neck down at bar 1. So Cynthia was like, but how are you in the bedroom? That's what I want to know. So Nene said, I'm just low key in the bedroom. Like, I'm just a wide receiver. Like, I want you to take me over. Peter said, you don't let nobody take over you. That's probably why you got a whole lot of going on right now. She's like, I don't give a what's going on. Peter loves to overstep his boundaries. Patricia, you are always speaking your speech. That was totally uncalled for. See, that's why Nene and Peter used to always get into it. No matter what you do, a man will still see his way out if he want to see his way out. Cynthia Big Mouth should have never told Peter. He the wrong person to tell something to. So Cynthia was like, oh my gosh, I told Peter not to say anything. I am so embarrassed, as you should be. So Nene said, I've been with him for 13 years. She said, I got some good. Then in her confessional, she said, look, I like Peter, but he has definitely crossed the line. So then as she's talking to the girl, she said, people don't understand that Greg has taken care of me for so long. I feel kind of scared to step out on my own. And that was the realest thing that I've ever heard Nene say. That was very real of her to say, because we know that she puts up a front. And she said, I just wish that I had my mom around to talk to some of these things about, but my mom passed when she was 40 and I'm in my 40s now. So then Mama Joyce tells her, listen, you only have one life to live. I am 60, but if I could go back 20 years, I would have cut it off then. I'm not telling you that's what you need to do, but that's what I would have done. So then Kandi tells us in the confessional that Mama Joyce and her stepdad are still married, but they separated when she was in the 6th grade. I wonder if Joy's still married. Mama Joyce, why didn't you just get a divorce? I mean, I know Kandi and her money would have helped you out. This ain't making no sense. So Mama Joyce said, look, if I knew what I knew now, back then, I would have given myself the chance to live, to have a life. So at 60, I wouldn't be sitting here telling y'all what I should have done. And I thought that was some real advice. This one, Mama Joyce was a little bit on the heavier side. She was more motherly, and she was just all around sweeter. So Nene said, well, I feel like there was a connection to me and Mama Joyce. Like, it really struck a chord with me. Nene said, people think I'm Iron Man all the time. Here goes Sheree. Well, that's how you come across. Oh, child. Sheree do not like Nene, honey. I don't care how hard she try. She said, well, damn, Sheree, I still have feelings. She said, well, then you need to show it because that's how you come across. Mama Joyce goes over to Nene. She hugs her neck and she tells her, let some people in because you come across so hard. And I'm glad I got to know you tonight. Aw, the pre-wig Mama Joyce was all right with me. And that was the end of the episode. The part that really stuck out to me was when Phaedra High Class Parks did not know her due date. Y'all comment down below and tell me exactly what you thought about this episode. I'm about to get off the Real Housewives of Atlanta train, and we're going to probably make our way over to some scripted series, some Married to Medicine, some old school Basketball Wives. Y'all just tell me what y'all want to hear. Please don't hesitate to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. And as always, stay safe, stay blessed, spread love, not germs. Peace.